folks. Really wish I'd gotten over there just now. For those emergency vehicles, decided might be a good day to throw on the camera here because there's a lot going on here. Daytime on a job site for road work is going to have a lot more activity because the daytime traffic is not commute traffic. I'm not traveling at my usual time. I really wish I'd gotten over there, but I really couldn't. But I could have been paying more attention. So, we are not on my usual commute today. We are headed to a different destination, but it is a work-related travel, so I call it a commute. We have down one lane, but we're moving great. Checked GPS before I left. No big delays. Something just happened back there with that livestock hauler. Tried to catch it with the camera, but probably didn't get much. But so it is. We've had a video on YouTube, which I consider to be a more natural. 40-minute video got nearly 500 views, which I'm not really sure why, but I've gotten a lot of positive feedback on it. It's a video called Subway. You can go and look it up. You know, I get thousands of on reels, the shorter, you know, if I edit down a video, but a full 40-minute talk, you know, sort of a podcast type of thing, that's not something that usually gets a lot of traction because people don't have patience to listen that long. So that's a little interesting. Positive development, encouragement for the project here. Keep that going. I've been looking into hardware for dash cams. I really can't find what I need, and I'm embarrassed to say why I'm having issues. But the friction in the process comes in two areas. One, actually getting the video file from the camera hard drive into the internet. Not really a good way to do that. I don't have Wi-Fi in the car, so I don't really know how to do that frictionless when I could just upload it straight from the phone using the phone's Wi-Fi connection. That is a very useful thing. The second problem is I'm not really sure how these dash cams are powered. I know that most of them have a feature that they will come on automatically in the car and film people who are parking near you. So if somebody backs into your car, the camera will turn on. It will sense the movement or something, and it'll see who backed into you. Kind of clever. But then that begs the question, how does this device stay powered? You either have to remove it and recharge it, which I don't really want to do, or you have to keep it plugged into your vehicle power system, which I really don't want to do. Because this is a 20-year-old car. I plugged in an inverter once that basically fried my battery and messed some other things up. And it was like trying to run a laptop off of the car. It was really poorly thought through. Nevertheless, I don't want anything. Since that day, I have not plugged anything into my vehicle charging system. We're talking about a car that is 22 years old enough to buy a beer, and date a 30-year-old, right? The problem is, I don't even have a USB plug in this car. I don't know that USB existed. I guess it existed in CPU computer drives, perhaps, but certainly not in cars. It doesn't even have Bluetooth phone caller on it. So, to plug anything in, I have to use a cigarette-style lighter 12-volt DC plug, which I have not used in a very long time. Most of the components are, aftermarket Chinese import plastic pieces that really don't work well anyways, and probably will drain your battery. So I'd rather not. There's a lot of electrical components already in this car that drain the battery, the mirror system, everything else. So that's one of our options. So my other thought is, do I get or use an older phone that has Wi-Fi capability and just simply make that my filming phone and transfer it to and from the dock and charge it and connect it to Wi-Fi and use it for all YouTube and other social related things? It seems very redundant when I have one already in my pocket. So that's a long way of saying I don't see myself making any changes anytime soon. Although I do need to upgrade my laptop. If I upgrade my laptop, then there's a question of trying to make the laptop be a video editing platform where I can simply maybe take a chip, one of those small micro USB chips or whatever they're called, remove it from the camera, plug it into the computer, bing, bang, boom. It's a little bit analog, but it seems doable to me, and probably would increase overall quality of some of this work. It's a pretty good thought, honestly. I used to have a digital camera where I would take photos with the camera, plug the little chip into the front of my laptop, download the pictures. It was real easy. I assume that the technology today is advanced to the point you can fit rather lengthy videos on those chips. As I mentioned in a past video, I work a lot with dash cam footage, and those have always been fairly easily retrieved. There's never been an issue of somebody not being able to remove a video. That's a pretty frictionless process in terms of getting it when you need it. But there is a good chance of losing a video. Not in the actual removal process, but due to preset protocols that are set in the camera, such as a reset after so many hours because of limited memory, sort of like a CCTV security system recording over the things that happened last week or whatever. That I have dealt with. This is really a great time to be driving to the airport. The last few flights I've had, they've been early enough in the day that I'm sort of in this really choppy rush hour commute mess. And this has been pleasant. I voted today. There's my sticker as I swerve around the road. Proof that I voted, for those who are curious. I guess I could have saved it from the last election. Probably is around. The good thing about kids is they want your stickers, so kids like stickers, and I'm sure that mine are all used. Wow, oh, that's so nice. Look at the flags. I think that's a Veterans Day tribute on my right. That's wonderful. hopefully the weather is kind to that display while it's up. Certainly something to remember this time of year. Not to get off point. Which I certainly did. So I voted. There's a lot of controversy in my hamlets about the school board. Apparently some money from outside the state's been trying to do something to schools and change the schools around. And it was a very busy day to be voting, and it was not proper election day. Let me tell you something. These people needed the practice. This is not a Six Sigma operation. Let me tell you, they're paid well. I'm paid well, and I thought twice about serving as an election volunteer. You get paid, you get probably substitute teacher plus pay somewhere in there. It's not bad. And we got more law enforcement activity. I'm on the other side of the Jersey wall. I'm good. But getting back to what I'm saying, these people are being paid well to work they're called volunteers, but they ain't volunteering. Okay? They're getting paid. They are studious and diligent, and they really care. But they are not being as fast as they could be for the lines. People do not have patience these days. Now, operationally speaking, am I criticizing to the point that there's a problem with our elections process in Johnson County, Kansas? No, I'm not going that far. Here's why. The parking lot had just the right amount of capacity for the people cycling through the facility. Did I have to stand outside briefly? Yes, I did. Was it very long? No. Did I get through the whole thing in less than 15 minutes? Yes, I did. Did I spot operational inefficiencies? Yes. But are you going to have Six Sigma level efficiency from people who've never met each other or worked together before? No. They're all strangers. They're all brought in for $95 and a feeling of civic duty, and maybe they don't even take the money. Maybe they say, I just want to do this to have my resume or whatever. They're doing okay. I hope they have a bigger facility on election day, but it's really not my problem. I got in, I got out, and I got on my way. I have had, the last time I voted at that facility, I waited in a line all the way around the corner, but we were all very motivated. And that's the point I began to make before I went off on a tangent. The point to make is that in Kansas, we don't take kindly to nonsense. Even though we have our fair share of it in Topeka, the good part about our system, as it's designed, is it's designed to fizzle it all out. Nonsense goes away. I think the state government of Kansas is designed well to the point that pretty much not a lot gets done. And I like that. I like a hamstrung government. I like a limited, take it easy. We're not going to do a whole bunch of stuff, and then 2 years later a new group comes in and tries to do a bunch of stuff. No, let's cruise. Let's look for good ideas, push them for 5 years until they finally happen. We'll make the idea better. We'll make sure there's wide-ranging support for the idea from everyone. It shouldn't happen if we don't have people all on board. That's how you get this nonsense we have on the national level. Right? We had big things happen that did not have a political base behind them. We had Obamacare. Very good thing, in my opinion. Nevertheless, it did not have popular support. Big problem. So what happens? People make a career out of dismantling your achievements when you don't get support of everyone. You put your idea above the people, your idea risks being destroyed. So, where am I going with this? School board. Apparently, some people from a national group want to take over our school board. They've put candidates forward in every open seat. I know what it's about. I have some general ideas. I'm not the most informed voter. But I do trust the opinion of some other local leaders who have told me that we've got a problem here. They are sound of mind people who are elbows deep in education issues that I am not in. I find public education to be a frustrating thing. I think everything they do, they have reasons for what they're doing. But the more I learn about it, the less happy I am, generally speaking. Do I know better? Do I have answers? No. And I'm smart enough to say I don't have the answers. I don't just go out and say I'm going to get on the school board and start knocking heads around because I don't like it. We don't like it, but we don't get it. Okay? We don't live the lives of educators. We don't deal with the day in and day out. We don't deal with the mandates from the state on what we're supposed to be producing and achieving. We don't live with that stuff. I'm a parent. I'm a parent with a skewed history and backstory when it comes to education. I grew up in a different state. My mom was a teacher. When I was a kid, they had corporal punishment. I came very close to having corporal punishment done to me when I was in kindergarten. They were going to beat me as a kindergartner. I can't even handle this stuff. I'm upset about it today. They were going to paddle me. They paddled my peers. They came back to class with red faces and tears because the principal beat them with a board. How can I possibly approach public education when this is what was going on? When I was a child, a small child, what do I know? All right? What do I know? What I know is that I stopped doing whatever it is they didn't like over it. But I'm upset about it today. Obviously, it's a terrible thing. It was a rural place, and the rules were not changed. It was a slow thing, and times used to be different. But you think about the power of these groups, these boards and things, and this is the kind of power that they can have, right? The power to shape your child, the power to violently harm your child, the power to do a lot of things, take a lot of money, take a lot of my money. And there are people who know a lot more about this stuff than me. But I have a suspicion that school boards don't know a lot about what they're doing. Because they are people who mean well, but aren't industry people. For the most part. So, we had the choice between the same old or the Proud Boy Patriot people, and I chose to go with the same old because, and let me tell you something, you want to upset Kansas people, tell them that you got people from the outside trying to put a bit of stick about. You're going to get a full parking lot on the day before Election Day, the weekend before Election Day, and you're going to have a great turnout. Because we don't like this nonsense. When the abortion people came in trying to change whatever it is we're doing here, look, no, okay? We're a pro-life red state. Quit trying to screw around and make us a breeding ground for your activism. We don't need it. It's not necessary. And it's just bad. Just go. Okay? You don't need, we're not being pro-choice when we supported getting rid of that movement. We were just simply saying we're not going to be radical activists, and we don't want to listen to the morons that go to Topeka talking about abortion. We really want those people making any more decisions or legislation and making hay out of that? No. We actually bought our own silence with a constitutional amendment, and we're proud of that. We like that. That's wonderful. Let people focus on issues that are going to change lives. And I don't mean like abortion is happening because of Kansas. It just means that the issues that are being talked about in the State House are not abortion. And that's fine, because the laws are already strict enough, right? It's not like we have clinics anywhere. I don't think there's a single clinic in the state where you could get one, so what do you care? Why are we talking about this? It's not happening here. We're not supporting it here. It's not a welcome thing. So just like step off, man. That's what it is, okay? So anyway, that's what I know about local politics. I think I've got a good understanding of the people that I live around, even if I don't have a great understanding of all the issues. And so it is. I wish I knew more about my water district, because that was a big election. I wish I knew more about... I don't really want to know more about the school board. Here's why. They had two coalitions. I don't want to come off as, a totally ignorant person, but they had two coalitions of four. So they're all sending out mailers. Ticket is so-and-so, 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 so-and-so. The opposite ticket is these four. And they're all sending out cards. They're all taking sides. And it's not strictly partisan. But the side I did not vote for, it's pretty clear that they are Trump-style radicals. And I just don't, it's just, okay, no one has the energy for this. It's not welcome here. Take your money you got from saying something obnoxious and keep it out of my state. Go take it to Florida. Okay? Go to Florida. They'd love to take your money. We don't need it. And, what's the return on investment for a conservative group trying to buy a school board election? A couple things. One, you get some more experienced, like-minded candidates to run for new offices. They get in for a relatively low cost of entry, so your donation could be $10,000 and secure the seat. But what do you really want? What you really want is to be producing more voters for your tickets. And I don't like the thought of trying to shape people school age into any kind of voter. But that's definitely what they want. They want to somehow shape school curriculum in a way that is going to either deter certain ideas and thoughts or promote other ideas and thoughts, either way leading people towards their worldview. And that to me is a pretty dangerous. And let me tell you, they're doing that in a red state. It's already red here, okay? You don't need this. People are driving pickup trucks with a, Trump on the bumper sticker. I mean, what do you need this for? why are you doing this? It's concerning to me. They're up to something that doesn't smell right. So, you know what I say? The things that don't smell good, I say throw them out in the garbage. That's my vote. I'm one guy. That's just my opinion. That's my feelings. And that's that. So, I don't think it's a very controversial take, quite honestly. And I've seen a lot of enthusiasm on both sides. But you know what, really, I'll tell you who won my vote. I know this lady who ran for the State House. I think it was State House, or I suppose it had to be State House. Yeah, State Rep. And her whole platform was education. She's got 4 kids or something, and she was an unemployed attorney, just staying home with her children. And look, she's looking into this stuff. She knows more than I do about this stuff. Like, really knows more. She really wanted to go to the State House for the sole purpose of contributing to debates and funding on education. So when she tells me that the other ticket is very concerning and that this ticket is the mainstream support, I'm going with it. I'm going with it. You know why? Because I watched someone tirelessly campaign for an unpaid job well, maybe it's paid, but it's not paid much. I don't think it's paid. Surely it's not paid. An unpaid job to, make things better for her kids and for other kids based on the experience she had with 4 children in the school system. And I know her children, they've got different issues across the board, from being highly gifted to special, issues and all that. So she knows more about this than I do. And she's plugged in a way that I don't care to be when it comes down to it. And now she lost the election. She was not ultimately victorious, but doesn't mean she was wrong. It just means that her message wasn't right for the place where she happened to live, and that's okay. But she got her message out there, and that's the way Kansas is about. I mean, we're about talking about ideas, letting them float around, and let them bubble in the soup for a couple of days. Let the sauce simmer, let it get good, and when it finally gets good, let's dry age this meat. Let's slow simmer this stuff until it makes good sense to everybody. And there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe she wins next time. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she doesn't try again. But the contribution was there, the time and effort, and all that, by all the helpers, volunteers, and all that. It's all there. That's the system. That's the process. That's how it works. You don't just come in here and institute an agenda. It doesn't work that way. Elections have consequences, so they say, well, guess what? Not that much. You don't come in here and change this place overnight. Because it doesn't need changing. Take care of business. We're not out of order. We are in order. It's the way we want to be. In order, Robert's Rules of Order, all the orders. Kappa Alpha order. No, not that one. Maybe some of them. We've had a good little drive, guys. Very happy with this. We are moving and shaking and on time. Oh no, my watch is off. really just come here an hour early because I didn't pay attention to the analog. I have an analog clock on my car that doesn't sync up. So I would be boarding in 1 hour. That's perfect. But it's an hour before that. Oh my gosh. So I have 2 hours and change until... Oh my gosh. Oopsie. Wrong exit. This is amateur right here. This is why you don't put me in a public office. I'd show up an hour early. Oh my gosh. Well, guess I'll be ready for a long lunch or something. My wife was telling me, you know, do you really need to leave and so on, and I said, yeah, I was already out, you know, voting. She said, you've got plenty of time. And I guess I was looking down at this clock like I normally do instead of my watch or my phone, and like, yeah, I did have plenty of time. I could have run back home for a little bit. That's a shame. Well, I will have time to go and edit the setting on my clock here and make it correct. Airport chairs, you know, they're not that comfortable. Neither are the lunch. Maybe I can go to the other terminal and get lunch over there, something different, you know. I just don't care for the food. This airport is new, and it's already got broken. It's less than a year old. The moving walkway's already broken. The bathroom faucets, soap dispensers, automatic functions are broken. Urinals are broken. I mean, how can we not plan a facility good enough to function for more than 6 months? I mean, we can focus on the shareholders of the contractors and make sure that they're underrepresented groups. Well, how about people who can put in, you know, functioning facilities that last more than 6 months? There's no way they anticipated this kind of maintenance necessary. And if they did, it should have been built into the funding mechanisms. How can it possibly be that an airport that opened in March of this year has broken major infrastructure everywhere you look? I'm stunned by the whole thing. Disappointed. Maybe I do need to run for office or something. They don't let Kansas people get involved in the airport though. Good morning, good morning. Got my little... Okay.
So if you go straight ahead, then make this right and go to row T.
Row T on this side or the other side?
Right here on the right.
Okay, thank you. Well, folks, we've had fun. I've had fun. Hopefully my comments weren't incendiary. I think they were pretty... What's the word? I think the comments were... I'm not parking next to a guy with a flat tire. He's going to need help. I think my comments were appropriate and understandable. That guy's over the line, so I won't take that spot. They wanted me to take that spot, didn't they? You'll be mad I didn't take that spot. I screwed this up, didn't I? So we'll go over here and try People waiting on me in the shuttle. Can't think about it. Can't think about it. What I should think about is how stupid it is to back in here when my luggage is in the back. How will I get it out? I don't know that I can get it out. Unless I leave room on the front, and then they can't see